Welcome, new stars. You're looking nice and bright this evening.
Thank you, All Star. I've been working on my shininess.
Good job. And you couldn't have chosen a better night? This is a great night for us all to look our best. Because it's Christmas.
Is that why Park Street is all lit up and sparkly? And Newmarket is all crowded and bustling with shoppers?
Hey, who's that fat fellow on the reindeer sledge? And what's in that big fat bag? It really looks heavy.
Haven't you heard of Santa? You know, Santa and his elves. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. And about the bag? Well, that's full of gifts.
Gifts? What gifts? I want gifts. Lots of them.
Well, he gives gifts to good children all over the world. So maybe he'll give you guys one each too. But for that, you'll have to put in your wish list personally. And for that, we'll have to pay him a little visit in his gift factory. Up there on North Pole.
Oh, you mean that shiny white patch up there, on top of the earth?
Righty-ho. Shall we take a tour?
Yes, yes, yes!
Better watch out, better not pout, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa's coming to town, Santa's coming to town, Santa Claus is coming to town.
He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
He sees when you are sleeping, he knows when you're awake.
He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
That was awesome. Santa's factory was so cool. But why do we celebrate Christmas?
You don't know about Christmas? Oh, that's right. You're our brand new stars. This is your very first Christmas. Well, I've seen over 1,000 of them. In fact, I'm old enough to tell you about the very first Christmas. And I can explain why we still celebrate it, even after all these years.
Oh, please do. I want to hear all about it.
Okay, to start with, we have to go back before the first Christmas and visit a little place called Nazareth.
Is Nazareth a place in the sky? You know, up in space?
No, it's a place down on Earth, just a bit south of Santa's factory, which we visited just now. There.
You mean the one over there? In the ocean?
No, the one a little further to the right. To the right. Your other right. Near the Mediterranean Sea.
Oh, you mean that little town at the side of the Blue Lake?
Exactly. That is the town of Nazareth. You see that pretty little lady right there? That's Mary. She's married to Joseph, a righteous man. Now, see the shiny guy there? That's the angel Gabriel. Gabriel had come to Mary to tell her that she is highly favored by the Lord and that she was to give birth to a son soon. He instructed her to name him Jesus. Mary's son would be great and would be called the Son of the Most High. Even though Mary was a virgin, the power of the Most High would overshadow her, and her son, the Holy One, would also be known as the Son of God. Mary agreed, of course. Before going, Gabriel also added that Mary's cousin Elizabeth would also have a child at her old age.
The first Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in peace as they lay in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel.
After hearing that Elizabeth was to have a child soon, Mary rushed to pay her a visit, and true enough, Elizabeth was expecting a baby soon. Both marveled at these miracles and were happy for each other. Mary stayed over at Elizabeth's for a long time before finally returning to Nazareth. But by now, it had become pretty obvious that Mary was going to have a baby. Joseph too noticed about this, but being a righteous man, he decided to pull Mary away privately and ask about the baby. He knew the baby wasn't his. However, he didn't have to do this, as God sent Gabriel to him in a dream to tell him about the situation. All this was being done in fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. Oh, and Emmanuel means God with us. On waking up, Mary and Joseph set off to Bethlehem, just as Gabriel had instructed. But before that, we need to make a stop at Rome.
Herod, the Roman ruler, had ordered everyone to be counted. And you may ask why he would do that. Well, it was something related to taxes, and so that everyone could be counted, he ordered everyone to go back to their family's hometown. It was sort of like a family reunion, without games and tasty food. The 3 wise men followed the new star. I think they knew the Savior had been born. They really were very wise. And they even brought presents for baby Jesus. I think they brought gold, frankincense, and myrrh for baby Jesus. The 3 wise men arrived at Bethlehem, but they went to Herod's palace instead of the stable. They must have been in for a shock. They didn't know that Jesus was born in a stable. The 3 wise men told Herod that they saw Jesus' star in the east and had come to worship him. Herod became worried, as he knew that Jesus would be the Messiah. He asked the scribe where Jesus was, and the scribe told him that Jesus was in Bethlehem. Herod told the scribe to go to Bethlehem and search carefully for baby Jesus. He also told the scribe to tell him as soon as he found baby Jesus. The 3 wise men also went to the stable to find Jesus.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we travel so far. Field and fountain, moor and mountain
Bethlehem to be counted, and Mary, with the baby in her belly, went with him. Mary and Joseph finally arrived in Bethlehem. Mary was very tired. After traveling for so long, Mary and Joseph wanted somewhere decent to stay. Unfortunately for them, there was no room in the inns. So they had to stay in a stable offered to them by a kind innkeeper. Yes, a stable, one where horses and cows and goats and sheep and other farm animals stay.
Away in the manger, no grave for his bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the bright sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus asleep on the hay.
It's amazing that not only did the people miss the Messiah then, but that they still miss him today. Maybe it's because they aren't really looking for the Messiah. But God didn't rely on a single new star to announce the birth of his son. He also sent an angel to tell a group of shepherds about it. Of course, it really frightened the shepherds to suddenly see a host of angels. Gabriel asked the shepherds not to be afraid, as he brought them good news of great joy that will be for all the people. That day, in the town of David, a Savior was born to them. He is Christ the Lord. The sign for them would be that they would find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger. When the angels left them and went back into heaven, the shepherds spoke to one another and decided to go to Bethlehem and see this thing that had happened. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they saw him, they knelt and worshipped him. Then they spread the word concerning what had been told them about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all things that they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told.
Mary and Joseph stayed in a humble stable. There, Mary had a baby, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger. A manger was probably the safest and the best place they had for him. I'm sure that Joseph landed with fresh new hay and stood watch over Mary and the baby during the night. They named him Jesus, which means the Lord saves. And now, for the first time, up in the sky, there was a new star, announcing the birth of the Savior. The three wise men reached baby Jesus and gave him their gifts and returned to their own countries soon after. But they had to take an alternate route back to avoid King Herod, who, as they learnt in a dream, didn't plan on worshipping Jesus at all, but was bent on destroying him. Joseph was too warned about this. He was instructed to go to Egypt with his family, where they'd all be safe. They escaped into the night before Herod could find them. Later, when it was safe, they returned to Nazareth, where Jesus was raised. All prophecies about him were fulfilled one by one. He lived a perfect life and died on the cross for all sin, and rose again to live forever. Now he sits on the right hand of God, and one day he will return to judge the world.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm. sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round your virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Thank you, All Star. I think I will shine a little brighter now.
Oh, yes. Thank you, All Star. And New Star, for your information, I will shine far, far brighter than you.
Thank you so much, Old Star. I'm sure we all got to know so much about Christmas today. And now I can't wait for next year's Christmas.
Well, it was a real pleasure telling you the amazing Christmas story. Next year, you will be older and hopefully wiser. Till then, goodbye.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing and bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the
I would now request Principal Ma'am to give her Christmas message.
Dear children, and I must tell you that this year, 2020, because of the pandemic, Santa Claus is not being able to come to each house and deliver the goodies that he does every year. So he's asked me to go to each house and give these stockings. Now these stockings are full of lots of chocolates and candies, and I want you to know, children, that we at the Heritage School, we wanting to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays.